Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Virtual Coffee. Nikki Pebbles will be joining us here just shortly. Here she is now, and I'm so excited about this conversation because Nikki's energy is infectious. If you don't know who she is and you haven't heard of her yet, hi, Nikki.
Hi, what is going on?
Not much, just doing your intro here. So excited about this conversation because I was just saying your energy is absolutely infectious. And if they don't know about you, they need to. Your videos are like the awesomest. They like every time I see one of your videos, you're dancing around, you're all happy. You can't help but to be in a bad mood after watching Nikki's videos. So.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Let me actually start my recording. Yes, we're recording. So just to introduce Nikki, and then we'll get right into the conversation. Nikki is the co-founder of Kerboomka Dance Fitness, the CEO of Nikki Pebbles and the School of Badass Branding. She has a double bachelor's in psychology and English. She is certified as a personal trainer, a certified weight management specialist, and a food specialist for children. And she's worked with places like NBC and CBS as a social media consultant. She is a social media ambassador for Crunch Fitness. Among many of her other talents, she also writes for About.com, Women's Health Magazine, and HuffPost. She is in the middle of a relaunch, and her newest program is Snapchat Success, which we will talk about a little bit later. I'm kind of excited about that myself because I have no idea about Snapchat. I don't even have it downloaded.
It's all good. Too funny.
So let's get started. Tell me about little Nikki. Where were you born? Where did you grow up? And what did you want to be?
So I am born and raised in New York. So I was born in Long Island. And basically, I always really wanted to be an entrepreneur my entire life. And I know, like, probably a lot of people say that, but honestly, like, it was always really installed in me. I distinctly remember being probably in like second or third grade and being at a sleepover party with maybe like 11 other girls, and we were in a circle and everyone was going, you know, what do you want to be when you grow up? And all of my friends were like, I just want to have kids and get married. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but I mean, when you're younger, it was just funny. And then, you know, obviously it came to me and I was like, I want to own my own business. Like, who was I? I didn't know what business I wanted to own, but I wanted to own a business. And, you know, just always very independent, very headstrong growing up. So that was always really installed in me. And I always really knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Always very multi-passionate. If you look at my resume, I've literally done everything from being a professional balloonist to working in retail to what else have I done? I used to dance at bat mitzvahs. I was a motivational dancer at bat mitzvahs. Worked at a lotto store, all these things. So I've been everywhere. I've been everywhere. So very multi-passionate. I have a lot of things. I wear a lot of hats. So yeah, that's kind of where I've always just had this like hustler mentality that kind of just really triggered, especially after I graduated college. So yeah, it's kind of like a short end stick of like kind of how I grew up. It's always been in my blood being an entrepreneur.
So what is Kerboomka?
So Kerboomka is a dance fitness program that is, it's very different compared to like other dance fitness programs, just because if you look at like Zumba or any other dance fitness, it's all follow along, right? So you're just following along with the instructor. With Kerboomka, we actually break down the steps and you're learning a new routine every single class. And it's in a repetitive motion. So it's easy enough that if you've never danced before or if you have no rhythm at all, we break the moves down so like anyone can do it. Or if you're more on the professional side and love to dance, it's great because you're learning choreography. That's actually when I graduated college, that was my first business that I actually launched. So I've been doing that for probably 5 or 6 years. And yeah, we've been on Sweat Inc. with Jillian Michaels. We have about like 2 different DVDs, certified instructors, things like that. And it's a lot of fun. I love it. I love to dance, and I love seeing people enjoy that because I truly believe that movement is power. So to experience that through other people is really cool to see.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It sounds like a lot of fun too. I might actually be able to do that one because I was terrible at Zumba, but I really enjoyed ballroom dancing because it was slowed down.
Yeah, I love ballroom dancing. Well, what's awesome is that I'm going to be launching within the next, I would say, probably the end of August. I'm going to be doing virtual fitness classes, virtual kerboomka classes. So people would be able to pay a membership fee every month, and they would be able to take not only kerboomka classes, but we also have something called KBK Fit, which is like different fitness classes when it comes to weightlifting or HIIT classes, things like that. So look out for that, but that's awesome. That's something that's going to come. Yeah, I'm really excited about.
And that's awesome for, like kind of my tribe of people who's constantly on the go and constantly moving. We don't want to join a gym because we're not here long enough. Exactly. And that's really why I wanted to do the virtual membership, just because so many female entrepreneurs don't move. They don't exercise. And when you actually power your body and move your body, it moves and powers your business. When you feel good, your business feels good. Absolutely.
So that's really why I wanted to make that really accessible for female entrepreneurs, because it's so necessary. It's so necessary. So I'm really, really excited about the launch of that.
That sounds awesome. And you definitely keep us in the loop because it's awesome.
Thank you.
So what do you wish you knew before you started?
To stand up for myself. I think when I first started, actually, let me elaborate on that. I think when I first started, I was super, super scared to stand up for myself, but to also realize that I need to do what's best for me and not what's best for everyone else. And I think for a really long time, I was always so focused on how everyone else felt around me. And when I felt really unhappy, I was like, oh God, like, I'm just going to suck it up. When really, like, it wasn't right for me, and I needed to move on from certain things and held on for certain things for too long. So if I could tell like my younger business self or just my younger self, it would be, if I'm not happy, just cut it off and let it go. Like, just go. Definitely, without a doubt.
Awesome. What was your biggest failure and what did you learn from it?
My biggest failure, I think I don't use the word failure because I feel like failure is just a really different way of saying a learning experience. So I think my biggest learning experience that I've had, I'm trying to think of like one specific time. There's been a lot of different learning experiences, but I think my biggest one would be, I had a situation where I really didn't listen to my gut, and like really, really didn't listen to my gut, and went along with a project that, once again, should have cut off a lot sooner. So I think one of my biggest learning lessons is learning to trust my intuition and learning to trust my gut. And then when that happens, just following along with it. Because there's been many instances where I haven't done that. And it really screwed me over tremendously. And I've lost a lot of money just from not listening to my gut. So I think if anything, to sum up all of the learning experience or failures that I've had, would be to be really follow my intuition. When my intuition's like, don't freaking do that, Nikki, don't do that. It's not a good idea. Definitely don't do it.
I think that's for female entrepreneurs especially, because I've worked with both men and women, and I think females definitely, they have this like inner dialogue that goes along that's like, am I making the right choice? What choice should I make? It's that kind of, and we fight our own, like you said, intuition and our own gut instincts to the point where, sometimes, and then you look back on it and you're like, I should have just gone with my gut. Like,
yeah, it's so interesting, and definitely coming from my partner for kerboomka is a male, so it's very interesting to see the different dynamic between how he makes decisions and how I make decisions, because I feel like with guys it's very much like, no, like they are like, it's not even like I don't know. I feel like we really battle with that, like, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, right, or I don't trust myself. I think that's what it is. We really, as females, don't trust ourselves sometimes, while males are very confident. Even if it's the wrong choice, I mean, they will still be like, no, I believe in it, nope. And they go along with it. So I think that's the major difference, is that they really are confident, whether it's a stupid ass decision or not, they're confident in it, versus us who are always battling it. So, it's a good, I've always, sometimes it annoys me, because I'm like, damn it, like, why can't I just make decisions like that? And just like, but I do believe it's a muscle that you have to exercise, is your decision-making muscle, and being able to make decisions on the fly like that, and listening to your intuition quickly. Quickly. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Another muscle to exercise.
Another muscle to exercise.
So, what's the best piece of advice that you've ever received in any of your businesses?
To always be myself. Always. I've had many experiences where people have tried to change who I am. They've tried to change my hair color, saying that it wouldn't, which I was like, okay, boy, bye. Like, see you later. No, thank you. I ain't changing my hair color for no one. Thank you. Literally, when that was said to me, I laughed out loud. I was like, are you serious right now? Anyway, but that's definitely to always be myself in any situation, because there will always be someone who is going to try to change you, or who's threatened by you, and you need to be able to trust yourself so much that you could go into any gamble and you're going to come out successful, and that's how I've really worked it, is that, like, you cannot change who I am. Like, I have to be me. I have to be me. The awkward, crazy, loud person, that's me. You know what I mean? And if I'm not able to do that, I don't want to be a part of it. So if you want me to change and you don't like who I am, then see you later. You know what I mean? It really is that simple, but it took me a really, really, really long time to get to that place of, like, I love who I am. But that has been the best advice that I've ever gotten. It's just always be yourself and love who you are, no matter what.
I was going to say, that's probably actually my worst, for me, it's my worst piece of advice I ever received, was to change myself.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
So, because I remember I was at a meeting one time, and they were like, the reason you're not successful is because you don't dress the part of an entrepreneur. And I was like, because I'm a jeans and t-shirts kind of person. I'm like, that's just me. Like, I'm outside all the time. Like, why would I want to dress up if I'm gonna go traipsing through the woods later this afternoon?
Yeah, what's so funny? I actually had someone who said to me, because I wear workout pants probably every freaking day, because it's just, that's my suit. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I wear. And someone was like, same thing. Like, you don't really dress like an entrepreneur. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know there was like an outline of how I should be dressing, a dress code of how I should be dressing. Last time I checked, I'm my own boss. So, and I say I look fine. So, whatever. I can't.
It's funny how many, when you're starting your own business, I saw something on, Facebook not too long ago, and they were saying, when you post, I got the job, you get, 300 likes and 1 million comments.
Yes.
When you say I started my own business, like one person likes the post.
Yeah. It's so interesting. Like, what's funny is that I think the word entrepreneurship is a super hot word right now, but I think excuse me, I think people still are very hesitant with supporting it. Because I think a lot of people are unhappy with their jobs, so it's like a hater type of thing where they're jealous that they're not doing that. And people need to realize that being an entrepreneur isn't easy. This isn't an easy job or whatever you want to call it. This isn't an easy lifestyle. That's a better word. Lifestyle. It is literally 24/7. And, it's interesting. And you look at it at the same time, people, especially from a woman perspective, you say that you get engaged and people are like, oh my God, that's so exciting. But then when you say that you got a promotion or you start your own business, once again, it's you get one like. And I think it's just this mindset of people being jealous of priorities in this country or just in general in the world. But I think it's changing though. I do think that entrepreneurship is a hot word right now, and a lot of people want to do it, and a lot of people want that freedom. So I think it's going to get even hotter. And I think the 9 to 5, honestly, the 9 to 5 is going to be changing too. I think it's going to, in 5 years, it's going to be very rare to see people actually being at work from a 9 to 5 job. I think flexibility and freedom is going to become a necessity in the workplace.
Yeah, I was going to say, my brother's a little bit older than me, and he started in a regular 9 to 5 job, but even in his field, he's an engineer. Even he's going to contract work, and a lot of the people that he works with travel around. They go to different locations within the company. They spend 6 weeks here, 12 weeks here working on a project, and then they move to a different location. And a lot of them do the same kind of lifestyle. They have RVs, or they do those, kind of live-in hotel type things where you can live monthly. So you're right. I think, and places like Google and stuff like that, and Mind Valley are kind of leading in that generational switch over to we don't want the 9 to 5. We want flexibility. We want freedom in even if we're going to work for somebody else, we still want that lifestyle.
Yeah, I think it's really, especially coming up in the next generations. I think you're going to be seeing, especially with the power of social media and the power of digital. So many companies are now being run by millennials, and I think millennials seriously see that as a necessity, and kind of look at their workers as more partners and more as you being a part of something versus just an employee. Your boss isn't your boss, your boss is your partner type of thing. And I think that's a really important psychology to think about, even when you start hiring on employees, is to really make them feel like they're part of a team versus just you're working for me type of thing. So it's interesting. I think that the entrepreneurial life is going to be filtering so much more into the 9 to 5, which I think is a fantastic thing.
Yeah, I love it. So
yeah, me too.
I love change. I love seeing how it's going. And you're right. The millennials are definitely leading the charge in that. And that's one of the things, there's been all these articles that you read about especially like stuff that's targeted to me because I'm a Gen Xer. So a lot of articles that I read is, oh, these millennial kids and 15 things that are wrong with millennial kids. And I go, but here's 15 things that are really good about the millennials and what they're changing.
Yeah. I think it's a threatening type of thing. I'm on the, if you look at the scale of like, I always thought I was a Gen X, but according to everyone else, I'm a millennial, but like I'm like on the like cusp of millennial Gen X, so I'm like right there. So it's interesting because a lot of people once again want to hate on the millennials, but I think that if we're able to kind of refocus the strengths of what they do when it comes to digital, because this world is digital, you know what I mean? We're all our own digital companies. And for anyone who is kind of like not for that and is like fighting that good fight to hold on to traditional, they're gonna, in the next 2 years, they're gonna lose. Like everything is gonna be digital, and that's when the millennials are kind of gonna be like, we got this type of thing. So you know what I mean? So I think it's just like an acceptance and like not understanding where they're coming from. So we'll see. It's interesting.
So on a lighter note, and I think that, like, I don't know, when I ask you this, I'm like, how can you not be having fun all the time? But what do you like to do for fun?
What do I like to do for fun? So honestly, I love food. I am like such a foodie, it's ridiculous. So I love going out to eat and having like a delicious meal with a great glass of wine. And I know that sounds super boring, but I love food. Like if I could go on a food tour, that's like my goal in life, is just to go to different countries and like just eat food and just enjoy.
That's awesome.
Oh my God. Like just enjoy food. Because I love to dance, but I dance every day, for a living. So like that is like, it's fun, but like food to me is just like, oh, so good. So I love food, and that's what I like to do. I like to eat food.
Restaurant chain is an activity.
Yeah, I mean, hello.
Check out all the
so funny
wherever you are.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
So, what is your routine? How do you stay productive? Where do you find inspiration?
So every morning I try to listen to like a motivational podcast, or I love Tony Robbins. So I try to go on YouTube and listen to like a Tony Robbins kind of thing just to boost myself. I also try when I work a lot in New York City, so especially when I'm walking around, that's my biggest thing, is just plugging in YouTube or a podcast and just listening to Tony Robbins just to get myself going. But yeah, that's kind of where I find my most motivation. It's just by listening to other people who are at a different level than that where I want to be. I love listening to those people. So definitely that.
And then how do you get through kind of your, everybody experiences, entrepreneurs experience the highs and the lows. How do you get yourself through the low times?
By my support system. So I am a notorious I can do it all myself person. I've been doing that. It's such a curse, it really is. I'm like, I can do it. And then when you go through those lows, it's like you just beat yourself up. And I'm lucky to where I have people who can really read what's going on. So I have a really great group of entrepreneurial friends who are just like, listen, girl, I get it, and just hear me out. And I think that is the most important thing, is to have a support group of people who understand what you're going through, and talk on a weekly basis. Like I have I have accountability partners, I have mastermind partners who we just sit out and hash that shit out. Like we just hash it out of what's going on. So that's really how I get through those lows, is by my support group.
Support groups are definitely important. That's kind of one of the, I think it was one of the last things, or at least the most recent things. I don't think it'll be the last thing that I learned, but it's one of the most recent ones that I've learned is having your support network and being able to go to them. I think my sister is one of my biggest ones, because I love her for her no BS advice.
And you need that. You need those people who would just tell it to you straight. Like, listen, this is what I think you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
And you need that, because you need the balance of both. You need one person who's like, oh my God, you're so awesome. Like, keep doing what you're doing. And then you need another person who's like, cut the shit and stop and get your life together and keep going. I just had a conversation with one of my friends who also has a business, and she was like, listen, you need to pull yourself together and do something. Let me stop. And I was like, thank you. I needed that. Like, I needed someone to tell me to stop. So
it's so true, though. The no BS. You're like, I feel so much better now that I was told I was an idiot for doing that.
Yeah. Sometimes you need that.
Every once in a while, you just kind of need that.
Yeah, that slap in the face.
So, all right. So into the last section of questions, and then we'll talk about the Snapchat success, because I definitely want to know about that. So, what is your favorite movie?
Favorite movie, Hopeful, with oh my God, why can't I remember her name? Sandra Bullock. Hopeful with Sandra Bullock. Love her. Love that movie. So good. So good.
And do you have a favorite book?
Favorite book. I really love Lean In. I love Lean In. I thought that was such a great book. I got it as a gift from a girlfriend years ago, like when it first came out. What's so funny with that book is I actually screenshotted it. It first came out on my phone, just being like, oh, that looks really interesting. And then my girlfriend actually, one of my friends got it for me. And I was like, oh my God. It was so weird. It was like it manifested itself into my life. But Lean In. Love that book.
Awesome. And favorite quote?
Favorite quote. Oh my God. It's by Steve Martin, and I'm not going to be able to remember it right now. What is it? Oh, be so good, they can't help but look. Be so good, they can't help but look.
And that's Steve Martin?
Yeah, believe it or not, yeah.
It's kind of surprising from him. I would.
I know, right?
Not, but it is. Yeah.
I actually used to have it like on my computer as a screensaver. But it's true, like you just have to be so damn good that like they can't help but watch you. So.
Absolutely. And then who would you like to have dinner with? And they don't need to be, they could be alive or past.
Marie Forleo. I truly feel like I could be her child. I feel like if like Tony Robbins and Marie Forleo had a child, would come out with red hair. I don't know. It would be me. I'd be their redheaded child. It's like if Richard Bryson, Tony Robbins, and Marie Forleo had a baby, it would be me. I'd be like, hey. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
And then the rest of these questions, if you've watched any of the previous shows, came from, I learned them through Inside the Actor Studio with James Lipton. But they're actually from a French interview show with a host called Bernard Pivot. And I always said if I was going to do a talk show, I wanted to do these questions. So here they are.
Okay.
What is your favorite word?
Passion.
What is your least favorite word?
Least favorite word. Idiot. I hate that word for some reason. I hate that word.
What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
I think movement, just being able to move my body really just gives me so much freedom.
And what turns you off?
Ego. When someone has a horrible, big ego, like divaness, like get over yourself. You know what? Because the thing is, here's the thing. When I get like having confidence in yourself and knowing that you're good at what you do, but I always believe that as fast as you get it, you can lose it just as fast. People can love you and then hate you like that. So you cannot have it. You have to be grateful and treat every single person, treat the CEO and the janitor the same exact way. I am nice. My mom always told me, if you go into a room and there's a secretary there, that's the person that you want to be. Like that person controls everything. Be nice to everyone, no matter who. That's always stuck in my head. So I hate ego.
My grandmother was a secretary, so that one kind of got instilled in me.
Yeah.
Like, make friends with the secretary. Do you want anything? Make friends with the secretary.
Exactly. It's so true. So true.
And then, what is your favorite curse word?
I think fuck is my favorite curse word. There's just power to it. Like, I love that word. And you know what's crazy? I don't use it all the time, but when I do, I just get so excited. I'm like, that's fucking great. So as I'm in a public place right now, cursing. But yeah, definitely fuck.
I interject it into words. When I'm really excited, I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah. It's just like it just interweaves into everything. Yeah.
And then what sound or noise do you love?
Sound or noise that I love. I love the sound of rain. Love the sound of rain. Water is like very calming to me.
You, my very first Blab show, because I do them all the time. My very first Blab show was with Lacey Craig, and it started to rain in that, and that's actually her favorite sound too.
Yeah, love that sound. So relaxing.
It's like, oh, I'm just relaxing, just listening to the rain as we talk.
Yeah, right. That's funny.
What sound or noise do you hate?
The sound of ripping paper drives me like
Sound of
nuts. Someone's ripping paper.
Oh,
ripping paper.
Oh, okay.
Drives me nuts. I flip out. I'm like, super weird. But yeah, hate ripping paper.
That's fun. That's not one I've heard before.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Well, here's the thing. If I could sing, I definitely would be a singer, but I cannot sing for the life of me. So probably if I wasn't doing what I was doing, I'd probably be a teacher. I would either be a teacher, like an English teacher, or I would be like a guidance counselor. Probably a guidance counselor, but somehow still in like helping people.
What profession what profession would you not like to do?
To be a dentist. No hate to dentists out there. That's just I can't.
Yeah. Feet might be
I give credit to anyone who can do that. I just can't. can't do it. I can't do it.
And I love my dentist, but I hate dentists, but he's like fantastic. I love my dentist so much. I'm like, I hate, and I tell him every time I go there, I'm like, I hate dentists, but you're okay. He's like, don't worry, everybody hates the dentist. I'm like, no, but I really like you.
Yeah, you're really nice. I just don't the idea of you.
But yeah, I definitely have to give him props for.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the last question is, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You're like, hey girl, what's going on? Probably. I see God as like a really like funky, like cool, awesome guy. So I definitely like me just booty popping up there. That's kind of like that's how I envision heaven. It's just like continuous dance party of God being like, what's going on, Nikki? That's what I hope.
That is awesome.
Oh
all right, so tell me about Snapchat Success, because that is your newest program.
Yes. So it is a 2-week program, group program, and basically what I do is I break down how to not only figure out Snapchat, like the 101 of Snapchat, but how to get clients from Snapchat and how to sell on Snapchat. So we have different PDFs. We have a Facebook group. You actually get like a half an hour consultation with me so we can strategize about what you need to do specifically for your brand on Snapchat. We actually just finished our first round and so many people just found such success and clarity on Snapchat. A lot of people don't know how to build off of it. So yeah, it's a super fun program. I am obsessed. Actually, I'm going to Snapchat this right now. Speaking of that. But yeah, so it's really awesome, and it breaks down that platform for a really easy way of how to utilize it. Actually, speaking of that, say hi. We're on Snapchat now. Yay! Oh my goodness. But yeah, so it's really awesome. 2-week program in and out. And it's small. We keep it at about anywhere between 5 and 10 members. So it's a very intimate program.
Awesome. So we have a couple of viewers. If they have any questions, I'm going to open it up and let them call in. If not, we will kind of wrap things up. We have Rachel and Helen. It looks like 100,000 plus. Thanks. Have a good day. Okay, so I think Bill is declining. And I haven't heard anything from Helen yet. If she'd like to call in. You guys are nice. Thank you, Bill. Thank you for doing the conversation. All right, so I guess we'll wrap it up. And awesome talking to you. And where can people find you? Before we leave, where can people find you and follow you?
You can find me on Instagram at Nikki Pebbles, NIKKIPEBBLES. Facebook at Nikki Pebbles. You can join my Facebook group, the Pebble Rebel Business Tank. And then follow me on Snapchat at Nikki_Pebbles because someone took Nikki Pebbles. So I had to put the underscore on it. So I got to find that chick. But yeah.
All right. Awesome. So definitely follow Nikki. If you have not watched her videos, definitely do that because, like I said, they're infectious and you can't help but to be in a good mood after watching them. So,
thank you.
And it was great chatting with you. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Yes. Thank you.
You
much.
too.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.